started.
Okay. 今天我们邀请到了酒店与旅游管理的院长来跟我们讲一讲酒店与旅游管理这个学院的大概情况。
Today, we are going to conduct an interview with Professor Caroline to talk about the School of Hospitality and Tourism in University of Surrey. First, could you please make an introduction about the school?
Of course, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you again and to have you as one of the students in our school as well. So the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management here at the University of Surrey, we have got a very strong reputation. In fact, we were the first UK university to introduce hospitality and tourism into our curriculums back in, I think our first class graduated around 1957. And the one thing that we have therefore is a real commitment to depth and legacy to what we achieve in the school. So we look to continue to achieve our excellence through our teaching, through our research, and through a lot of the enterprise works that we do. So we work with a whole range of people from, of course, the students are absolutely at the heart and the core of what we do. And we create opportunities by working with alumni, by working with industry partners, by working with international academics and researchers from across the world. And what we're able to do by creating these relationships and these different partnerships is really create an environment that is not just academically excellent, but it stimulates and it fosters curiosity and intellectual stimulation. It encourages and provides a safe place for our students to really explore the way in which they think and explore how they understand the events industry, the tourism industries, the hospitality industries. And we do that by bringing everyone together. And I believe that whole focus on working together to achieve our success, that's what really gives us that excellence that we have at this point in time.
Yeah. And what makes Surrey to achieve top rankings in hospitality and tourism management over the world? What do you think that makes Surrey achieve this?
Yes, we do, and we're very proud, actually, very proud to be in the top 5 in the world, and we're number 4 in the QS rankings at this point in time, which you know everybody is very proud of. Our students are very proud of, we as staff are very proud of, and actually just this week, in the last few days, I've been talking with our advisory board, and once again, these are the types of issues that come up that they are very proud of as well. I think the things that allow us to achieve this is, as I said before, we work in a very collegiate and supportive environment, but we do that in a way that never compromises excellence. We never compromise on our quality, we never compromise on the integrity of what we do. And that is something that manifests itself all the way through in terms of our teaching, the modules, the programmes, right through to our research, the papers that we work on, the research projects that we are doing in terms of our academics working with industry, working with non-academic partners. But the other thing, of course, that allows us to achieve that excellence is being innovative. It's being at the cutting edge of our industries, bringing that real balance between the philosophical, that intellectual excellence, but also the applied understanding, ensuring that students like yourself are able to learn in an environment where you are being challenged to think critically, being able to actually provide problem solving, to provide a critical analysis of some key areas, but to do that in a context where we're working with, whether it be the mentors in our final year or out on a professional training year or any of these areas, where you're actually working with someone who is a leader in the industry to make this possible for you as well.
Yes. Most of the times, the students choose to study in the master's degree in these programs. Would you recommend the students to study an undergraduate degree or a master degree?
I think it really depends on the interests of the students as well. Some of our students come to us, and people potentially like yourselves watching, will come to us and they've already studied tourism, hospitality or events. Now, the great thing there is that they can then continue the studies that they've already embarked on with our master's programmes. Now, we have a series of different master's programmes, so some are a 1-year general introduction to an international tourism management, international events management or international hospitality management programmes. But then maybe for those who have studied previously in their undergraduate, they may wish to come on to our strategic level courses for hospitality or tourism. So we have the Strategic Hotel Management Programme or the Strategic Tourism Management and Marketing Programme. The other thing that some students choose to do is that they choose to specialist in a particular area. So for example, through our MSc in Air Transport Management. The key thing here is that our programmes and the student body with whom we actually work, we allow a range of different people. So some people will come to us with no experience whatsoever. And again, we welcome that as much and, as we welcome those who have come to us with that undergraduate experience before. The other thing that we also have now coming in is a foundation year programme as well. So really what we do have is a real spectrum of opportunities for people to study with us. And that's the key thing. Again, coming back to what SHTM really stands for, it's about allowing the opportunity for everybody who is able to come and join us for study to really excel and to really achieve those opportunities that we realise for them.
What do you think the students will obtain through the module study?
What types? I mean, our students study a whole range of different things, and I think one thing that we do is at every level of study, whether that be undergraduate or postgraduate, we really strive to create opportunities that are going to challenge our students, encourage our students to grow, both academically but importantly professionally as well. So for example, in our undergraduate programmes, there are a range of opportunities for our students to engage in academically challenging. Of course, that's the whole nature of being here. But then, say for example in the hospitality degree, taking modules such as restaurant innovations or looking at strategic modules within that programme, or within the events modules, looking at hosting their own events, and again being really challenged as not just to host it but to design it, to create it and actually then make it profitable at the end. And then for our tourism students, there's so many opportunities to actually go out into the tourism industry, whether it be through our residential field trip or whether it be through the mentoring modules that we have in our final year, and that type of experience is opened across the board. And for our postgraduate students, again, there's a whole range of opportunities there. Some students will engage in our applied dissertations programme, some students will go out and engage in a whole series of event volunteering opportunities, and I'm sure you've done that yourself as well. And some of our students will get internships, as well as the challenges that come through completing a dissertation or a business plan or whatever it may be that they choose to do.
I've heard we are going to build a learning hotel. Could you please talk about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're still in the stages of doing so. So the university is looking at developing a learning hotel. Of course, learning is at the very heart of what we do as a university. Learning not just in the traditional context of academic learning, but also in terms of our research, creating new knowledge and sharing knowledges and creating collaborations. But the other exciting thing about a hotel, of course, yes, it would provide the opportunity for students to learn in situ in a live living lab. Of course, it would allow them to learn front of house and back of house in a whole range of different situations. And of course, that would be built and developed with some very much state-of-the-art and cutting-edge learning facilities. But the key thing as well is a hotel is a living space. There will be people from outside of the university coming in to stay. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to also teach and provide the opportunity for our guests to learn about what the teaching is that we do, how we are preparing our professional graduates of the future and our world leaders of the future. At the moment, we have a wonderful statistic, I believe, that we've around 12,500 alumni. We're in touch with just under half of those, and at this point in time, 48% of them occupy leading positions within each of our hospitality, tourism and events industries. So it's so important then that something like the hotel and what the hotel will offer is a space for people joining us as guests to understand how that learning takes place, to understand how the research takes place, maybe even be part of some of the research themselves going forward. So the whole thing with the hotel is that as the plans move forward, then yes, it's about building those collaborations, about working with non-academic partners to really understand and drive forward a vision that we have for contributing even further to research in our field and advancing the innovation and the technologies that our industries are currently embarking on. So it's very exciting, and we will definitely keep you posted as more happens.
Considering about the career after graduation, what kind of abilities should students focus on to be improved?
So I think one of the things to say, I'm going to answer that in 3 phases. So if we think about the careers that our graduates have and the career opportunities going forward, one of the things that I think there is so much more opportunity in each of our industries, so whether it's hospitality, tourism or events, we're not simply, and we are not a vocational school, we are not going to be training waiters and waitresses, that's not what we do. But rather what we do is we provide opportunities, so through things like the Event Safety Passport undergraduate for event students, hosting live events yourselves, for the students in the hospitality programs, going in and working in our lakeside restaurant, working in the coffee shop, working in the private dining room, for then going out to your professional training year, for the tourism students going out and actually engaging in field trips, understanding the operational side of tourism, but also learning about the government side and the policy side. Because actually, the industries that we operate in have got such a wealth and breadth of career opportunities. You can do everything from management and HR and marketing. Some of our students move into hotel development, design and planning. So actually, not many people think of that when they first come into their undergraduate degree or even into their postgraduate degree. We have other students who they will maybe go into something that's a bit more traditional. They will go into events management or event planning. But of course, such is the wealth of opportunity in the events industry at the moment. You don't have to work for an events company. You can work for any company in the world because everybody needs to host events. They need to celebrate their success, build their networks, drive their business through a whole range of events, whether it's conferences, meetings, or perhaps more social focused events. And I think that's a key thing. And likewise in tourism, it's not just about, of course we've moved far beyond, it's not just about taking a tour group out, it's about destination development, governance, it's about policy development, it's about giving people the opportunity to work in, whether it be destination management organisations or whether it be actually looking out and working with organisations such as those like WTTC, World Travel and Tourism Council, a whole range of opportunities. And of course, our whole economy is shifting at the moment. We've got the sharing economy. We're very much living the sharing economy now, which means that even more our industries are integrated into the very fabric of society. And we have to understand our industries and all the careers that come with it as being that very much just integrated into the bedrock of society. And so with that comes a whole host of opportunities and also a whole host of responsibilities. So hence why you talk about the skills. So our programs offer the opportunities, one, to develop your core management skills, of course. If you're going to move forward as a manager or as someone who is going to be successful in business in these industries, you need to understand marketing, you need to understand human resources, organisational behaviour, consumer behaviour. You need to understand these core areas, law, etc., in order to develop your career. And that brings up a wonderful opportunity for actually having transferable skills. Because of course the other thing that you need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to do so and do so confidently, with a confidence that you know what it is you are talking about. You've learned through our programs not just about the theory but about some practice, and you're building the experience so that you can become one of the world leaders, hopefully, of the future going forward. So that then comes around the communications. It comes around the written communications, the verbal communications, the interpersonal skills that are all so fundamental. But then of course it's about that specialist knowledge of each of our industries. The events industry, you know yourself, the specialist knowledge that you need to be able to not just be a manager, not just be a finance manager or an accountant, but to do those types of skills in the context of understanding the nuances of the events industry or the tourism industry or the hotel industry, hospitality. That is what then gives you the opportunity to thrive. And I think that's what we see. So if we look at our alumni and where they are and what they do, We see so many of them when they do stay in and they commit to our industries, they really do thrive and they excel. You know, which is why, so in a couple of weeks' time, we have every year we have 2 alumni and industry networking events, and those evenings are just wonderful. So again, anybody watching, again, if you would like to engage with us, do come and find out more. You know, talk to us about the opportunities, not just as a student, but as maybe as an industry partner. You'll know yourself. We have a whole range of people that we work with. So it's about providing the platform, providing the opportunities through the programs to develop these skills and make sure that our graduates are professional, responsible graduates. They understand issues around sustainability and ethics and what that means for them as managers of the future. And that is what we strive to do.
And do you have any suggestions for Chinese students?
With anything in particular? Or?
Anything like doing a placement in
I think the thing that I would say to all students, you know, to Chinese students, to students from anywhere in the world, and again that for me is one of the real passions I have about being the head of school here and being an academic here, is that we have students from all over the world, and that in and of itself is what we really need to celebrate. Celebrate the diversity, celebrate the facts, and really immerse yourselves, irrelevant of where you come from, but immerse yourselves in and learn from all the cultural differences, because people come, as you know, from all over, and actually that is where the growth comes as well. So the learning from each other as much as learning from your academics or learning from the industry guest speakers coming in. And I think if you can do that, if you can just immerse yourself in the learning cultures of wherever it is you go, that is what's going to make you thrive. When opportunities are given to you and opportunities arise, take them. You know, don't sit back and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't. You know, if you have a guest speaker that comes in, then do spend that time at the end where they invite people to ask questions or continue communications. Take them up on that. Say yes. When it comes to professional training year, do the professional training year. You know, we will support you in the ways that we can to make sure that that's a success for you. You know, secure that professional training year. Go out, choose to work. We've got London on our doorstep for students coming from China. You know, London is so different. It's something that they're not necessarily familiar with. So we have that. Make the most of the opportunities that you can, because that's what's going to make you thrive, and that is what's going to make you success. You know, don't shy away. When you come to university, don't shy away. Really become part of, you know, the school, and really become part of the student body. That's what I would suggest.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.